Hi guys, it's Elaine here, the Animal Reiki Lady, and I am coming to you today in the group, the Rainbow Bridge Pet Loss Support Group, but this video is actually going to go out to a couple different places. The question came up again today. I get asked this question all the time. I hesitate coming out with the direct answer. I hesitate posting it on publicly like this, but I'm going to do it here, and then I'm going to go over and post it on YouTube, because that's where a beautiful person asked me today this very question. Someone who lost their dog over the weekend and asked me, how do I connect with them on the other side? Can I connect with them on the other side? So while I'm waiting for a couple of you to join me live, and I always do these things live because I like to just go with the flow. I like to say what I'm feeling and go with the information that comes to me in real time. And hello, everybody. It's great to see you. I did make myself some notes this time because I do want to share with you some specific things. So the first thing that I want to share is, number one, I'm a Reiki master. And Reiki is just a way of making a spiritual, energetic connection with animals. And through that connection, I do it through meditation. Through meditation, the animals have shown me how to make intuitive connections with them, how to feel their energy. And it's not the way that you normally think. So it's not about communication. It's not like I have a conversation. It's not like a dog says to me, I've got a pain over here on my right side. Or when they cross, that they come to me in a vision and I bring out my crystal ball, and it doesn't work like that at all. This is about energetic connection, spiritual connection, and it's all based in our heart. So the first thing I would say is, number one, suspend your disbelief. If you can go to the movies and pretend that Tom Cruise is actually jumping from a 100-story building down to the ground without breaking a single bone, you can do this. Trust that your animal is trying to connect with you. So number one, suspend your belief. Number two, get out of your head and into your heart. In our Western culture, we are really taught to poo-poo this kind of thing. Honestly, when you say words like psychic and telepathy and medium, and it even makes me laugh to think about those things. We have attached so much baggage to those things. So I'm going to stick with how you can make an energetic connection, a connection heart to heart with your animal who has crossed to the other side. Because yes, if you've watched any of my videos, you know how I explain it. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It simply changes. Just like you have ice and water and steam. It's all H2O, just in a different form. And when our beautiful animal companions who have been our soulmates, when they leave their little physical body, it does not mean they leave us behind. And they do try in many ways to reach out to us. We just don't see it. So let me explain to you how you can do this. And I urge you, encourage you, invite you to go ahead and give this a try. I'm going to share a couple different things. The first thing is, one of the ways to get into your heart space, out of your head, into your heart, and if you want to learn any more about that connection, that's actually a connection between your core, your heart, and your head. When they're all aligned is when you begin to really make those connections. But we in the Western culture, we're really stuck here. So all you need to do is take 3 or 4 deep breaths before you begin. And if you want to do this as a practice, like where you sit down on a chair and try to connect with them, you take in 3 or 4 deep breaths, and I imagine that I'm breathing the air into my heart. You don't have to worry about the word meditate. Don't worry about any of that. Just breathe in, focus on your breath, bring that breath directly to your heart. Now, I say only do 3 or 4 because by the time we hit the 5th or 6th breath, sometimes our monkey mind has taken over. We start to hear all that chatter. You were like, oh wait, did I lock the door? Oh wait, did I? So just don't worry about that. Just go for 3 or 4 breaths. Bring the breath in and take it right to your heart. And that kind of gets you out of your head and into your heart space. Then there's a couple other things. So animals will try, our animal companions in particular, the ones who we have felt to be our soulmates, the ones who we've had such a close connection with here on the physical plane, they try to reach out to us in a number of ways. So the woman who reached out to me this morning said, okay, I want to know if this is a sign. And yeah, we've even attached baggage to the word signs, but she said, yesterday morning when I went out the door, there was a feather laying in my path. This morning when I went out the door, there was another feather laying in my path. Could that be a sign from my animal companion? Absolutely, yes, that can be. They try to reach out to us in so many ways, and they try to get our attention. So the things they do immediately, if that's caught your attention, then that answer is yes. And maybe if you have the time, stop what you're doing and take a few minutes to try to make that heart connection with them. So yes, they will give you signs, so to speak, like feathers. People may have heard, I know there's a story in my family about a cardinal that showed up at someone's funeral, and that cardinal came back again and again. And so, yeah, there's ways that all living things try to reach us from the other side. So you can look for signs, but they try to get to us through our senses. That's one really big way, usually through something visual, smell, or auditory. You may hear their name repeated 3 times. It'll come out someplace really weird. You'll see it on TV, or somebody will call it, you'll hear it through a window that someone's calling their name down the street, and it's not even for your animal companion. That's another way that they try to get in touch. Or you'll smell something very familiar. It's their smell. It's a smell that you associate with them. Also a sign that you have an opportunity to connect with them heart to heart. Visually, you could catch a glimpse of them out the corner of your eye. It may not even be them, but it's them trying to connect visually with you. Another way is at sleep. Now, I find this to be the most effective way, because we doubt some other things. When we see feathers, oh, yeah, well, that would have happened anyway, we say to ourselves. So suspend that disbelief, but I also find that sleep is a very magic time, right as we're drifting off to sleep. Just as you're about to fall asleep, when your conscious mind lets go of the control and your subconscious mind takes over, this is a time when you can take those 3 deep breaths and just ask your animal to join you in your heart. You know what that feels like. Don't tell me that you don't. I know you know what that love feeling is like with your animal companion. So as you're drifting off to sleep, take in those 3 deep breaths. Allow that air to open your heart and feel them. They will come to you in a feeling. We spend way too much time up here and not enough time right here. They'll come to you in a feeling. Let's see. They may also try to come to you through dreams. And this is another time you can program your subconscious mind. You can tell your subconscious mind, and it may take a couple of nights for practice. So I do this all the time. I've been doing this now for years. I say it like it's second nature, because for me it is second nature. For you, it's going to take a little bit of practice and a little bit of trust that your animal's trying to get through to you. As I'm drifting off to sleep and I take in those 3 deep breaths, I ask Lucy to either come to me in my dreams or to tell me something in my sleep. And I keep a little notebook. So I keep I have hundreds of these guys. I keep steno pads everywhere, because when these things come to me, I like to write them down so that I don't doubt them. So that 3 hours from now, when I'm in the grocery store thinking about something else, that I'm no longer questioning my sanity for this kind of thing. So write it down as soon as it comes to you. So I ask Lucy. Lucy's one of my go-to. Lucy crossed in August of 2020, and when she crossed, it's all of a sudden I realized why she was in my life. I'd often wondered, because she came to me, my daughter left her with me when she went off and got married. So Lucy ended up spending her whole life with me, and I never quite understood what her purpose for me was. Like I say, every animal comes into our life for a reason. It wasn't until she crossed that I knew why she was with me. So I ask Lucy every night. I'll fall asleep. As I'm drifting off to sleep, I take 3 deep breaths, I open my heart, I invite her in, and I just say, Lucy, whatever it is you have to share with me, please bring it to me in a dream or let me hear it in my sleep. And then as soon as I wake up, I write it down. I literally, guys, I scribble on my pad. I write down whatever comes to me. And I do more than scribble on my pad. I keep a dry erase marker in my bathroom, because when I get up, sometimes I just go right to the bathroom and I'll write it on the mirror. So the short answer is yes, you can connect with your animal companion on the other side. Yes, it does take suspending your disbelief. It takes a little bit of practice. They will try everything within their power to get through to you. And it doesn't matter how long they've crossed. It doesn't matter if it was 5 years ago or 5 days ago. If you want to connect with your animal companion on the other side, they are willing participants. They can't wait for us to get in touch with them. And last but not least, I wanted to give you an example. So today, this is how I knew that Lucy was on my mind, or I was on Lucy's mind. Lucy has been gone now for a while, and all of a sudden I'm walking my dog, who's a boy, and I called him accidentally Lucy. You know how every once in a while you might call your kids by another name, or you call the cat the dog's name, vice versa? Anyway, I called him Lucy, and I was like, where do you think that came from? And then 10 seconds later, I did it again, and I was like, why am I calling you Lucy? And then I was like, oh, Lucy must be thinking of us. We must be on Lucy's mind. And so her name actually came out of my mouth. All right. So the other way that they will connect with us is through direct communication. And for that, you have really got to have suspended your disbelief. They will directly try to connect with us, and they'll send us visuals. They'll send us thoughts that weren't there one minute and they were there, and then they're there the next. But unless you are truly a believer and you're ready to suspend all disbelief, it takes a little bit of time to get to that spot. All right, last but not least, if anybody ever wants help with this, you just reach out to me, because I will be happy to guide you. I don't, like I said, I'm not like a medium. I don't do the pet psychic thing. I can't find the dog who's run away, and that's because, well, that's a whole topic for another day. But what I can do is I take you on a guided journey. I will bring you into a meditation so that you don't have to worry, I can't meditate. I don't know how. I take you through a little guided story. All you do is listen to my voice, follow along. We go on a journey, and I welcome your animal companion into the space with us, and they talk to you, not to me. They share with you the thing that they want to share with you. And that message is usually always between just you and them. So for now, that's what I wanted to share. I love sharing this kind of stuff. I love talking about, as I call it, hairy-fairy. As hairy-fairy as you want to get, I can go down that rabbit hole. So let me know if there are any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to talk about anything. No topics are off limits. Post your questions below, and I am here for you guys. I love you so much. Sending you so much love from me and all of our animal companions, wherever they may be, here or on the other side. Take care. Bye.